People get a little behind the scenes talk. You know,
the pre-show before the show.
Yeah, give them a chance to log on. We're live now, 7 seconds in. So far nobody's joined us, but you know, 8 o'clock I'll start the spiel, the opening spiel. But so yeah.
All right.
And I was lucky. I remembered to bring my hat. I was walking out the door this morning without my hat.
Yeah, I don't have anything. There we go.
Okay. You got that wonderful shirt.
This does not count.
It does too count. I love it. I would wear that shirt, especially with this hat.
I forgot where it was, but there was I saw a Hawaiian shirt that had like an octopus on it. I figured that could be like Hawaiian steampunk. But I didn't get it. But
I think you posted that shirt online.
Yeah, I had a question mark. Yeah, Hawaiian steampunk. Yeah, it's a long time ago though.
So one thing I'll have to mention here is that we tend to have with 4 people sometimes, especially with laptops, the microphone doesn't like disconnect. So if one of us starts talking, it doesn't register that we're talking yet. So we just all have to kind of deal with it a little bit. Don't talk over each other.
Yeah, I don't have my plug-in microphone. I'm on the microphone on my computer right now. So hopefully I sound okay.
You sound great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it's an old beat-up computer too. I'm surprised it's still working. I've had this thing forever.
Stop beating on it. It doesn't help it any.
Right. Oh, look, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and start the opening spiel. Hello! Once again, you found the Texas Steampunk Connection. We are coming to you live and direct from our various steampunk airships and bunkers throughout the Texas area and maybe beyond, depending. So thank you.
I'm all sorts of beyond.
All sorts of beyond. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are here. I, of course, am Flavio, a.k.a. Damn It Flavio. Every once in a while, Major Damn It Flavio. With me, as always, is Stacks, the Gentleman Adventurer, and Jack from Steam Chest. And we have a guest. Jack, introduce our guest.
So, everybody, this is my friend Omar, a.k.a. the Movie Ninja. Go check out his YouTube. We'll throw a link down here at the end of the thing so you can check it out. And so, just a little bit on him. Back in college, we had many a conversation, probably hours, if not days, worth of conversations about books, music, and movies. And I'm very happy and excited to have him on our little podcast here and to just kind of allow him to illuminate us a little bit in a world that we are not exactly as privy to as a lot of other people. So, and bring his unique perspective in on the group here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So, yeah, well, hello, Kristen. Hello, Rita. Hello, Mick. Hello, Clarence. Clarence Boothill. Are you new? I don't remember seeing your name before. Thank you for joining us.
He has sent messages and comments to our Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
Recently.
Active.
It looks like he's finally made it to a live show. Welcome. Before we get the ball rolling, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to play the little the podcast within the podcast saying, what the hell are you drinking now? Unfortunately, I'm out in the middle of West Texas again in a secret bunker. I did not have time in which to go looking for a adult beverage, so I am only drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper. But I am drinking something at least.
It doesn't have to be adult. It can be tea. Apparently, it's
that's
also
true.
Soda.
There's a lot of tea drinkers and water drinkers here. But that's all I'm doing. Nothing important. I really like that. I used to love regular Dr. Pepper, but it almost pushed me over into the diabetic zone, and I stopped it. And once I stopped, everything went back to normal, and I'm just doing the diet stuff, no sugar.
I think tea is an adult beverage. I don't think of a lot of 10-year-olds going, "Give me a cup of tea, damn it."
Maybe in England, you don't know.
Well, there's that, but I mean, there's that whole like water is the ultimate adult beverage, but tea is like flavored without the sugar. The moment you start like traveling backwards and adding other things to it, it starts becoming more and more a child's drink, I think.
I always have tea straight. I never really have it like, I will occasionally have it with honey, but not really too much like sugar or other things. But I hear you. Yeah.
Like if it's dark, I want to put like a tad bit of cream in it. Just to give it that like silky consistency, I guess. But I still like the strong.
Yeah, that milky texture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that kind of cuts the tannic harshness of the tea.
If it's a strong one, like an Earl Grey or something, for sure, or a Lady Grey.
For that, I actually recommend what I'm drinking right now, which is white tea.
What is it?
Tea.
It's white tea.
I
don't know what that is.
Oh, you are unaware of this. Okay, so white tea is simply it's tea that's harvested in the early spring. So it's a little bit younger, and it's actually from the buds. So it's a lot less bitter. It kind of tastes a little bit normal when you first start drinking it, but then right as I guess the water reaches that part of your palate that registers bitterness, it feels like it retreats. Like you never have that like oh, it's too bitter, sort of like taste. So if you're not really too much into tea, but you like it for its antioxidant qualities, I would say white tea, definitely.
No, Rita and Christine seem to like it. Rita loves white tea, and Kristen says white tea is excellent. So you're good.
A basic Chinese tea, like a green tea or black tea.
Black tea is very good.
But it's a Chinese tea rather than an English tea with a funny name.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Well, we know what Omar's drinking. He's drinking white tea. How about you, Jack? What are you drinking?
I went by the store today and was hoping I could find something. I did. I actually I've been eyeing this one for a while, and I just kept looking at it, going, next time. And instead of pulling up and just having my lime, my Bud Light with lime that everyone tends to give me this weird reaction when I tell them I love that stuff. I got me one of these Austin Ambers. So Austin Amber Brewing Company. So I'm keeping it local today, and now you can hunt me down because everybody knows where I'm at.
somewhere.
Challenge, and it's really good. I had a sip just a moment ago, and it reminds me of one of my more favorite beers I had when I was in Alaska for a very brief period. They had a Alaskan ale, which wasn't something that was national when it first came out. It was only local. Then I saw it 3 years later. I'm like, oh my God, I can now get it. And of course, you can't get summer ale hardly ever because it's one of the most popular flavors. But I approve of this one. If y'all have it around, go for it.
I've had the Alaskan Ambers, Alaskan White Amber, and there was a third one when I was traveling in Alaska. And they were all excellent. Mm-hmm. They really were, yeah. Then on my way home, we went through Canada at the airport, and they had the Canadian beer. That was called, the brand was called Canadian beer, or Canadian Amber, or whatever it was. I was like, oh, I'll try one of those. It was dead awful. That was
them Canadians.
Was it mostly maple syrup? Is that what set it off?
It was just skunky beer. I don't know. Okay. But on the topic of lousy beers, I am not at home tonight, as you can see. I'm not in my proper steampunk attire. I apologize, and
that shirt's close enough.
Weird, dull room because I find myself.
He's out gentlemanly adventuring.
Salt Lake City, Utah, on business, and so I'm learning all about Utah, and all the things that I expected were incorrect. I expected this to be a state full of the crackerist white people, but it's very diverse. Salt Lake City has lots of Mexican groceries and little taco huts and all kinds of good things, just like at home. You can buy beer at the grocery store as long as it's 5% alcohol or under. All the liquor stores are run by the state, which is weird. So even though I had the choices of all the normal beers, I saw this one that I thought the can was so amusing I had to try it. See this? Pub beer by 10 Barrel Brewing Company. It's a lager. This is a 16-ounce, and a 6-pack of 16-ounce beers was $6.
Wow. That's $1 a beer. Okay.
Value.
It is the kind of beer that makes people hate beer. You know, you've got certain friends who say, "Oh no, I tried beer once and I definitely don't like it." It's this beer.
That's the beer.
Like it is terrible. I am not drinking it tonight. Even though
Blame the pub. They haven't cleaned their taps, clearly.
Obviously.
down at the bottom, I love this. It's a cheap fun. Is right there.
Cheap fun? Huh, okay. I can't read it, but
It was cheap. It's not fun.
oh, cheap fun. Okay,
fun.
cheap fun. I got it.
Maybe it's a weird state-sponsored roundabout way of getting people to not drink beer. Like, we'll just make it taste like this. Then people
Right.
won't drink.
Or it's one of those where you have to chug a couple of them and then you don't care anymore, you know, kind of thing. shotgun it.
Yeah.
But you don't do those clubs. That's at parties. Never mind.
I usually get offended when I see people like on TV, you know, a movie or something, and they're shotgunning a beer. It's an offense to the beer. Not in this case. No, this is.
Like I said, that's the beer you do that with.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Nothing to savor.
So I am drinking my raspberry lemonade.
Hey,
All right, that works.
I love fusion lemonades. Those are awesome. Like strawberry, watermelon. That stuff's great.
Last week I made a what was it called? A Radler, made with
Radler. Oh yeah.
a lager beer that wasn't as bad as this one, and raspberry lemonade,
That's right.
and it was really nice. I liked it a lot.
There you
I
go.
tried that with this too. It still wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean the only thing closest to me is the local like stop and go or shop or whatever, the gas station nearby. They have a big cooler of beer, but it's all Coors Light, Bud Light, you know, nothing else of
You never know
interest.
when you're going to find a treasure that nobody's told you about.
I looked. I didn't see
Oh.
anything.
That's the problem with Midland. Unless you go to an actual like liquor store in all of the major gas stations, there's going to be like three refrigerator cabinets of just sodas, and there'll be 8, and it's nothing but Coors Light and Bud Light.
Yep.
And it's like 3 different types of beer, but it takes up a third of the store.
And they had a walk-in freezer area too, with full of the same.
Yeah, they sell quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And they sell a lot of it.
At one point, locally at home in Texas, among the American lagers, your Buds and your Michelobs, there was one called Red Dog.
Oh yeah.
It's got a bulldog on the front, and it's got a cheap beer, but it's actually pretty good.
For a second, I thought you said Red Dawn. Like the 80s. Like, I was like,
That's a beer.
Wolverines. Okay.
Very strong beer.
Very Bolshevik beer. No, Red Dog. I recommend it. If
Clifford
you come
beer.
across it, buy one and try it. But stay away
I
from
don't-
beer.
Stay away from pub beer.
Yeah.
Canadian pub beer.
Okay, I think that should end our "What Are You Drinking Today" podcast within a podcast. Let's move on. So Jack, tell us what. Let's talk to our guest here. What are we doing here?
So, if you would like to explain your YouTube channel a little bit, this would be the time to kind of go into what you like to do. What is
So
your
what I
hobby?
like to do is just what I've been doing since I was old enough to talk and just had enough people's attention, which is just never stop talking about movies. So like what it is essentially is just a channel where I talk about movies and TV shows, mostly within the realms of what I typically enjoy watching, which is martial arts, action, sci-fi, fantasy, those specific genres. So yeah, and you had asked if there was like a contribution for later on in the segment. I believe you called it like homework, which I'll bring that up at a later time. I don't want to step on anyone. I'm the new guy. I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. I don't know if you guys do this like clockwise or counterclockwise.
I just pick randomly.
But yeah, my specialty I call it a specialty, but it's just like being obsessed with visual media and then just talking about just talking about movies and TV shows that I enjoy. So there you go.
So are there any well, just try to stay on the podcast topic. Are there any steampunk movies you've seen or shows that you've seen that you remember, good or bad?
Or terrible. Oh, yeah.
Like, and that is the real tragic thing. I think Hollywood hasn't really tapped into the potential of like Jules Verne-esque steampunk. Like there have been a few films that have come out that are not particularly very good. Wild Wild West, which decided to use very interesting, which, by the way, if you've seen the TV show, because I sought out the TV show after watching the horrible Will Smith, Kevin Kline debacle, it is so much better. The action is so much better. The gadgets, it is James Bond in the West. And it's a really well-written show, really tight action sequences and set pieces. Very good camaraderie between the two main characters, and just I would wholeheartedly recommend Wild Wild West, the original series.
Yeah, I've seen some of the first season of that, but then it's gotten really hard to find streaming anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, definitely you have to get it.
It's really hard to find.
It's an all or nothing thing. Unfortunately, I got my collection at Best Buy 3 years ago, and it was for $20 the whole show.
Good deal. Yeah,
no, definitely. But yeah, like there was also, and I believe you guys talked about it in an episode or two ago, where it was the Three Musketeers, but it was like steampunk-esque.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a while ago, but yeah, we did talk about.
Yeah, we did talk about that one. It was where they had the flying ships and the clockwork locks and stuff like that. Yeah, we did talk about that one.
There is one that I want to specifically bring up because it's close to my heart. It's nostalgic, and I think it actually runs in very well to a lot of like, if you're an anime fan or you are trying to get into anime, and that is, it's an anime series based off of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, but it was churned into a sort of anthro fantasy series called Sherlock Hound.
Wow. Okay.
It's a bit obscure because it's almost as old as I am. So what it is that you had three Japanese writer-directors working with an Italian production company. And what it is that they would just adapt. I believe they adapted 3 stories: the Case of the Blue Carbuncle, Speckled Band, and the disappearance of the Golden Freight Car. And then they just decided, you know what? Let's just do our own thing. Oh, by the way, everyone's a dog. Yes. There we go. And this is way back in the day. And this is where this one guy, I don't know, you guys might have heard of him. I don't know, he's a little obscure. Hayao Miyazaki got his start as a writer-director for Sherlock Hound.
I Googled it and saw a few pictures. I'm like, this looks really familiar. Miyazaki!
There you go. Yeah, this is one of his first projects, Sherlock Hound. And it definitely has a showcase of his love of aviation. And the reason why it fits well into the realm of steampunk is mainly because of the show's antagonist, Professor Moriarty. Professor Moriarty in this iteration, in this specific framing, casing of the character, he's a goober. He is not a Machiavellian criminal mastermind. He's a caper villain, episode by episode.
Be still my heart.
Yep, yeah. Episode by episode, he comes up with schemes to just steal money that just like, I have no idea. I imagine that in this universe, in the dog alternate universe, he's part of a family of rich industrialists that don't care what he does, just as long as he does it away from the estate and doesn't embarrass people. Because every single episode, he makes a sea monster vehicle a dragon airship, a pterodactyl airship,
Nice.
a steam crank shovel digging machine, and this is all just like steel, just like 100 pounds worth of like gold. Pounds, not sterling. Like, all just for like cash, and the only ones that'll help him are essentially their two sidekicks called Smiley and Todd. They might as well be Harry and Marv from Home Alone.
It sounds like it. You know, as you watch Miyazaki, these are his cutout characters, right?
Yeah. There's like there's a lot of
bad guy and his two goofy sidekicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's available. You can see they have them on YouTube, or you have to, or if you want to watch them on Prime, you have to pay for them or buy them on Prime. But they're free on YouTube. Looks like.
Yes, on the YouTube TMS channel, what's free, and I know that some anime folks are going to like, oh no, that's not me. The TMS, what's for free is the English dub, which the English dub is a 1980s English dub, a bunch of fake British accents. They're trying, though. You can tell they're trying. Every now and then, especially like if you're familiar with like BBC programming or just like British jargon, there's a lot of Americanisms that are slipped in there. Like they call it should be biscuits, but they call them cookies because that's what we call them. So I mean, like it's just like little things here and there. There's just like, oh, okay, us like people that are a little bit more aware of these things. Like now, they might stand out, but it's not enough to ruin the show. The show is just good fun, and it's really, especially being a Miyazaki production, it is something that really can be enjoyed by the whole family. I've seen the series several times, and I would let my 3-year-old niece watch any of them because they're just fun. So,
love that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Sherlock Hound. Yeah, it's here on YouTube. Well, I'm gonna watch them on YouTube.
Sherlock Hound. You have to like if you have it pulled up, just throw them a link in the thing, or I'll get it.
Yeah, it's like
that was the first anime I ever remember watching. By the way.
Oh,
nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really do a feeling for the bad dub then.
Yeah. It was like, whatever. They were trying their best.
Right.
I'm kind of embarrassed about my first anime.
Oh, what? Hey, sure.
It was Project Echo.
Okay.
And
that was one of my first too. So I mean, it's like
I feel like watching it again, I'm like, this was supposed to be porn, wasn't it?
And well, back in the day, that was like one of the only things that was available to find, here anime wise. That's what worked its way over here.
Whatever showed up is what you get. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of it was, specifically with Project Echo, they were going for a parody of Fist of the North Star and a number, the Sailor cartoons and a number of different like Western superheroes. So the reason why you would see like she runs to the school and she's never on time, wouldn't you know it? She's one of those ditzy teenagers that never gets to school on time. And there's a giant mecha waiting for her. And they're like, oh, okay, now I have to deal with this. It's very self-aware. They're poking fun. I know what you're talking about. It's
probably because I did not have the references to understand this was a parody of at the time.
Oh my god, I've seen this.
Uh-oh. Jack, are you okay?
Oh no.
Aneurysm.
No, I just had like my brain synapses fire off and like a whole bunch of
scanners moment.
A whole bunch of just like feelings and images of like watching TV at like a very young age. Watching this show has just flooded.
Saturday anime. Yeah. On there a lot.
Apparently, it was my first anime. I didn't even know it. Outside like DuckTales, but
Are you talking about Sherlock Hound again?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I just saw a link here, so I apologize for busting in on late on the conversation.
That's all right. I'm looking forward to this.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get into anime until much, much later, and it's like I don't remember much of it. Like something about Fashugi Yugi or something like that. I don't remember. but that wasn't because I was into it. It's the girlfriend I was with at the time was into it.
The adaptation of the 12 Kingdoms romance, yes. For sure.
Yeah, and she would get these like VHS tapes in the mail from somebody, from hookup she had somewhere out somewhere else.
I come from literally. Well, Flavio, you're like sitting in it right now, and Omar is like 50 miles east of or south of where I used to live, in the middle of a town of 1,000 people. Getting any type of culture was rough because you had just the supermarket with the 80 movies that everyone rents every day, and it was lucky if you could get anything new at all. And,
I want to give I apologize. I want to give a POV to all, like, anybody who's like younger than myself and complains about their Amazon package coming in like 2 days instead of like 3 days instead of 2 days. Back in our day, back in my time, you had to get a specialty magazine, and there were these little codes on the very back last page that you would have to call a number on and then place your order with someone. And then maybe in a month you would see your order.
If you're lucky. Yeah, if you're lucky.
If lucky, yes.
I'm still waiting for my brass casted cannon to come in from Popular Mechanics.
Omar, those were bootlegs at that point, weren't they?
Some were because they weren't legal distributors. Some of them were because they weren't legal distributors, but there were some, like Manga was also a distributor back then, ADV and ADA, and they would also do, like, for Animerica. I believe it's Otaku now. I haven't read that magazine in years, but like for the Sci-Fi Channel, for Animerica, you would have to order it off the back of the very last page of the magazine. So yeah, and some of them were bootlegs.
Yeah, back when there was also, or back when, well, a little bit later, there was like when they had the smaller Comic Cons, where Comic Cons were getting so freaking huge, and they actually just had comics and toys and whatnot. There was that one table of the bootleg VHSs there.
It was weird. I remember a comic store in Austin that it became known in the local anime community that they were selling bootlegs, and we were frowning on it, and we were not going to shop at that store because they were selling bootlegs. Meanwhile, we're bootlegging off each other constantly, left and right.
Yep.
It was just that somebody was making money.
How could they?
Somebody had 2 VCRs and put them to work.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, we'd go to cons and everyone would bring their VCR, and the show that was going to show, we all plugged in, and it would just go. We get 10 copies.
There you go.
Oh, so that was everything. Every time I did a LAN party as a kid, we'd all get our computers hooked up, and we all had a little like share folder that would pop up on the networks, and everyone would just basically just like grab each other's share folder and move it over. So like,
I forget how much. I forget that you're younger.
Last 45 minutes to an hour and a half of any LAN party was literally everyone trying not to touch the LAN cords, so everyone could like steal each other's shit.
Yeah, I forget that you're younger, because when you said you're a kid and you do a LAN party. When I was a kid, I had an Atari 2600. Okay, there was no copying that.
No, I grew up with an Atari. This is more like high school, college time. Like my brother had an Atari. He's 8 years older than I am, though, because we played with the Atari, the Nintendo. We never had a Super Nintendo. I had like a Sega later that came because I really wanted one game that we would rent from Blockbuster over and over and over.
Yeah, my first video game was Tank, and it wasn't from the Atari. It was simply a console that had two sides of controllers where you each controlled a tank. That was it.
Yeah, that was fun.
No, that was the Atari version of it, Combat, with the cartridge. This was Tank. It was Combat it looked like the Atari one, but it was before Atari. It was early game it played.
Bootleg Atari.
It was before Atari.
That was original. I believe he's talking about the original.
Before game cartridges existed.
Yeah,
before game cartridges existed at all. You have to
there was no cartridge. It was the console itself was the game.
Yep.
Yeah, my father-in-law used to tell me, it's like, the way you used to do programming is you'd get your magazine and you would have a program, and it was the page, and you had to sit there and type it in every time you wanted to run it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yep, because there's no way for you to save beyond like 64 kilobytes.
Yeah. Craziness.
That I want to see more of that type of stuff in steampunk. I want more kind of I don't know, over the top technocrat, but steampunk. I think there's still something missing in steampunk.
We need more punch cards.
Yeah, I want more like stupid technology messing around in steampunk. I want screens, but I want like the flap thing. Like, have you ever watched? Oh, what is it? This Amazing Screw-On Head when he's talking to the president through his communicator, and it's literally just a picture of him, and it's got like this triangle thing for the mouth that flips back and forth when he's talking, and every time he blinks, every now and then. I mean, it's just overly complicated communication device for facial, and I loved it. I think it was the funniest thing in that whole, for the first 2 seconds of that show, and then the next 30 minutes is a blast. But it was just the amount of stuff that gets thrown at you for it. It feels like, I don't know, I want modern representations of technology put back into steampunk and back in time. I think that would be a fantastic thing to see. Like the app for Facebook, but make it be overly exaggerated, and you have to do all this other stupid stuff. Like literally, like a bird, like you held out your arm like this with a certain sleeve on, and a condor lands down, and you have to like write your note and like stick it in the bird, and the bird has to like notarize it or something and take off.
Which part of the bird do you stick it in?
We'll put
without a beak.
For the PC side, we'll just put a little bucket right here or something. But I mean, I want something that's like it's obviously Facebook, but it has to, every time you make a post, it has to like come get it and then like take it to a centralized thing, and then they all like spread it to everyone that's on your friends list or something. So there's this like over amount of resource and like machination that has to go on to like do what we do now with just a click of a button.
I would love to receive messages that way. Like I hear a rap on my window, and then I let a bird of prey into the house, and then it's like, who is this? Where does this come from? Oh, my brother wants to meet up this weekend. Okay.
Crows and ravens can actually be taught to
send it away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see you this weekend.
The raven could come through your window, give you a short message. You've got a tweet.
You also have to pay the crow or pay the raven. Like you have to like feed the thing so it'll like take your stuff for you, and like it'll like drop you change or something. It's like like 2 penny, like it's like 2 pence in a spring.
I like that. That.
Let's get this going. Let's do this. It's almost. I've actually subscribed to a bunch of Goblin Core now on Facebook. And a lot of what we're talking about would fit right in.
That's what I thought 2 weeks ago. I was like, this is the Cottage Core, Goblin Core is sort of base level, and you put steampunk on top of it.
It fits. It's just it's fantasy with the layer of Industrial Revolution without the pollution yet.
Perfect.
Yep. So just now put a filter on the top of all those smokestacks. We'll keep it that way.
Okay. We want to talk about homework?
Sure. You guys, I'll go. All right. Okay, I'll do mine first. Guys, you are not ready for the bizarre craziness that I found and read. You thought the America, the cartoon last time that you did, the America, the movie was crazy. Well, this is kind of in that vein. It's called Time Lincoln. It's a graphic novel I found. No, he does not fight vampires, but he is fighting Void Stalin. He is fighting Mecha Hitler, Apocalypse Mao, and
I love that.
Communism.
His allies are Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, and George Washington Carver, which is an inventor. When the first chapter of this was a little confusing with his first fight with Void Stalin. Void Stalin. There's some kind of like power that he has to travel through time, back and forth through time, and he's there to help finish the assassination of Lincoln. But just before Lincoln is assassinated, he's pulled into the void of time, and he becomes Time Lincoln. The tagline, in his final hour, he lived a lifetime. That's the tagline of this book. In his final hour, he lived a lifetime.
At least he lived.
So yeah, he's I mean, it's basically him traveling through time, fighting time Nazis and Stalin and.
So his war cry is scored 7 years ago. That's as he's charging anybody. What you just said, like he's attacking Hitler or Mao or the Koreans or whatever he happens to run into at the time.
Yeah, he's got like a special power punch that he does over his shoulder like that, and it's like a backhanded punch that's his specialty. It's just.
I'm ready to emancipate you from existence.
He's got Amelia Earhart flying all the time. There's in the Thrilling Adventure Hour podcast that they had Amelia Earhart flying through time punching Nazis. Well, she's in here flying through time punching Nazis. So
I mean.
So I'm seeing. I did a quick search. I see this is produced by Antarctic Press.
Yes,
Antonio. And they have a long history of stealing other people's ideas.
yes, they do.
The fourth issue is drawn. The title is drawn like G.I. Joe. It's Time Lincoln versus Cuba Commander.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly. Yeah, this may not have been the first episode, but it was fun. I mean,
awesome.
Like I said, the first chapter of it was a little confusing, but then after a while I got into it. Yeah, okay, it's pretty fun. I found it in Half Price Books. You can find it online. I put it on my list of over 100 comic book, steampunk comic books, dieselpunk books on the Patreon with a link where I found it. Antarctic Press.
From Antarctic Press, they're the same people who published the Steampunk Glamour Gazette.
Yes.
For those 4 issues. So you could order them all and just pay shipping once. Which is
I think they also do Steam Wars and Starship Enterprise or Steampunk Enterprise.
That is such a good series, Steam Wars.
I have that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have it's pretty good. Because what I like about it, it's not saying that this is Captain Kirk in the Steam universe. It's just a separate starship named Enterprise with a different crew. And that's steampunk, And I like it. It's really good.
Nice. I like look into that then.
but yeah, I was just at the Half Price bookstore and I found Time Lincoln. And I looked at it, it's like, maybe, but then in the back it even says action, adventure, steampunk. So right there.
It's like, well, then it counts. I gotta show this to my friends.
Right. Well, I gotta at least review it and see if it's any good. And it's it's not the best writing in the world, but it's fun. It's just weirdness. It's hilarious.
I do miss the idea of like the 20-cent little like short story book you could get. All right, I've never been in a time period, but that was a thing for me. But my grandfather used to talk about it all the time, where it's like you could go and you could get like your burger or you get your drink, and then they would have this rack of like cheap novel things, and he worked in the oil field. And sometimes he gets stuck in his truck for 8 hours a day doing nothing but waiting for the thing to either break or tell people to do something different. And so he read a lot, and he had a whole bunch of those little stacks of those books when he died in his house. And I probably have them running around in one of our at my brother's house. Probably I'll see if he has them just to see what they were all about. But I remember him talking about them a lot. And I like the idea of that because we have these things now, but it's really actually kind of hard to find stuff like that. And then you get down these like rabbit holes of Reddit and Facebook, and then you're like, oh, well, there goes my 3.5 hours. Did I actually do anything important? No. Did I learn anything? Nothing I can remember now. Yeah. And so that's my rant. I'm sorry.
Was that your homework? Why don't you show us your homework?
All right. My homework Oh, you want to go first?
No, please.
No. Oh, okay. So I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I ran across it, and I have yet to watch it, which I know that sounds really stupid. But the Frankenstein Chronicles. Do we know of this on Netflix?
I heard of them. I think they're on my to-watch list, but I haven't gotten around to them.
With Sean Bean, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Sean Bean's in it, and he's a main character, and I don't know if he dies or not at the end. That's actually now what I care about the most.
I'm not going to say then.
Okay, thank you.
If you know, then I'm not going to say.
I'm all about finding this out now. That's the whole reason I want to watch this, outside of the fact it's now steampunk Sean Bean.
It's a fascinating murder mystery.
Okay.
So and like I said, like it's hard to talk about without giving away major details, but I know what you're talking about, and it is a good show. It's very good.
Well, let me read a little bit here what I found on Wikipedia. This doesn't actually break the plot any. It's just kind of the overarching like storyline. So it says it's a British television period time crime drama that first aired on okay, yeah, we don't know, care. 2015 is when it was aired. Basically a re-imaging or reimagining of Mary Shelley's 1818 novel, and Sean Bean acts as he's the producer. I don't care. Let's see. Where's the story? I read this earlier, I swear. So essentially, Sean Bean is the police officer in London who finds this body that's been stitched together, or it's stitched together by kids, and it's all different chunks. And now he's trying to figure out where this came from. And first off, that sounds creepy as hell. I'm in. Now it's Sean Bean having to do his like eyebrow thing and like his look over his shoulder at the camera thing and his big nose in the shadow thing. So I'm looking forward to Sean Bean not dying for at least a couple episodes and getting to actually enjoy him. And which is kind of funny because I watched a movie that I don't know if it's just falling off of Netflix or it's falling off like tomorrow. And if any of y'all have not seen this, find it somewhere else to watch. It's sci-fi, but it's got a heavy steampunk kind of like Dune etheric feel to everything. The ships and the technology feel very steampunk in its own right, but it's obviously like technology it's almost as far beyond our comprehension that it's almost magic. And it's called Jupiter Ascending. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that movie.
Oh,
yes, I hated it.
I'm sorry. I liked it. I want to see. I wish that the plot was drawn out more. The characters did not have enough time
thing, right?
to really like get. They had very little time on screen due to all of the action they put in. It was made by the people who made The Matrix, the Wachowski siblings. Yeah,
not the girl from the '70s show, right? What's her name?
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, Mila Kunis. Yeah.
Yeah, and she is the main character.
Jupiter Jones.
She did a really good job being thrown into a weird position and dealing with it. And I enjoyed the whole. There's a scene about bureaucracy that they go on, an intergalactic bureaucracy. And I love the fact that everything was still made of like hardwood. It was built once to last, and they never wanted to fund this area of the world again. And they're done. And it's now just this crammed as many people as you can into this DMV of hell that is now corporate headquarters of this massive government conglomerate of space on a space station. I loved it. I thought that was great from the perspective of world building. The spaceships were all unique. The technology was great. Obviously, it had a lot of teeny bopper. We need to have a love story built into it, but it didn't bug me. It just didn't. I feel like every movie has that in it, and it needs a relationship. And I'm just like, fine, we'll deal with it. I don't know. I loved it from the space. I'm looking at the spaceships going. They'd be so easy to turn into airships and have them be jumping between planet to planet. Look at it. I loved it. It was great. Flavio obviously has his different opinion. I would love to hear it. Tell me what's wrong with it.
Okay, the whole premise was, it turns out there's these people that are harvesting planets or harvesting the people on planets because of something they suck out of their spine in order to make them immortal or make them live longer. And so they were going to come and just destroy Earth, take everybody, and process them for that. Which I think is just the stupidest thing ever, because you're just getting rid of your source. You know, just at least take half the people, process, and let us repopulate, take half again, repopulate. That would have been a smart thing to do. But no, they were stupid. They're going to take everybody. That's just bad.
About your bottom line and the fact of how long it takes. 200,000 years to populate a planet to its brim. I mean, you got to think the long-term game and the fact that they will seed it with new genetics.
It was dumb. But
I will admit that to me and you, we would take the more greener approach and only, we would basically just steal people in the middle of the night till the unending bit of time to get what we need.
It just okay. And then the love story.
Start over.
I thought the love story was, it was dumb as well. She turns out she's some big muckety muck, whatever. She went through all the bureaucratic process to get her to claim her power or whatever. And in the end, she goes back to scrubbing toilets. What the fuck? Like, no.
I love Omar. He's just over here like, I'm just gonna stay quiet. And
no, you don't have to stay quiet.
well, here's the thing: is because like I've always held the personal philosophy, and you remember this from college. Is like, I'm not gonna knock you for liking what you like. So I mean, it's not like I may have a differing opinion, but I'm definitely not. It's like, and that being said, like I'm also not knocking people for having opinions. Like if there's nothing wrong with like Flavio like mentioning like what he feels like is wrong with it. Me and him are on the same page. I didn't like it either for a number of reasons. Type thing. But like
maybe it's because I play a lot of Stellaris, which deals with galactic absurdity like that as a governmental thing. Like you start your own little government, you take over planets. It's like playing Civilization Online in the internet.
And like StarCraft too, right? Because you play StarCraft a lot, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this is more like Civilization games in space. You colonize a planet, you take it over, you build up the governments and all that stuff. You have a space navy and whatever. And depending on how you actually developed your nation, you can end up with absurdities like you ended up like in the movie. And so I'm just watching this going, no, this is totally some space group I've come up with by accident, just because of decisions I've made as we're going to be a galactic corporation. Sure. All right. Yeah, we're going to do this because I like long living people. Oh, that's going to cut down on your population. Sure. All right. Did I think about it? How? Why? No, I didn't. I just figured scientists figured out a nice way to do it. Apparently they didn't. But I get to profit and benefit off of it. Sure. Okay. I got a war to run. But no, that's fine. I know we've gone off the rails.
I don't remember any. I mean, the spaceships didn't. By the time I was not into steampunk at the time that movie came out, so I did not get any kind of connection to steampunk because I wasn't thinking about it at the time.
Let me tie the steampunk bit in. All right, so you had basically a space marine that was hybridized with dog genes, essentially wolf, and I wish they gave him a little more werewolfy look because of it, but they didn't. But his boots were cool.
It was like Reboot.
They were great. Basically, kind of like you could make anti-grav boots / rollerblades in space. Obviously overdone a little bit, but I liked the concept. Apparently, he was a de-winged space marine. He actually had the ability to actually have like wings, so I think they were supposed to like drop from orbit or something like that. So I like the equivalent of some of the technology that was almost beyond. He was a completely spliced individual from different things. To a degree, he was his own Frankenstein individual, specialized for this role.
Oh, Frankenstein! I see where you're going there.
Yeah. See, but I can see that being something in steampunk as well, where you would have kind of a Mad Hatter character or a mad scientist who's come up with his own type of goblins that he's like attached stuff to and is now using him for a specialized role. I just like the world. The storyline, I will admit, being weak. I overlooked a lot of that just because it was fun and I was on a little bit of this and was enjoying my time because it was a lot better than being at work. And but the world itself got me, and I'm like, I want to see other places. If there's one galactic government that is a corporation running around doing ridiculous stupidity for the sake of profit. What else is going on that is absurd and unreal as well? And that's the things I like about Steampunk, and not Steam Chess, but Steampunk. Is that there's,
if I may interrupt for just a little bit.
Go for it.
What you're describing is a guilty pleasure, and you're allowed to have them.
Well, thank you.
Because I feel like you're really like on your back foot. It's like, I like this. I know a lot of people don't like it, but just like, it's a guilty pleasure. What was it? Like, just what's one of mine to make you feel like not as bad?
Omar's like the bad movie therapist.
Hey,
it's okay, man.
I'm okay with that.
You can like what you like. That's okay.
Like, pretty much, I love kaiju movies. They're just cheesy, schlocky, like monster mashups. I love them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Independence Day is another one of my guilty pleasures.
There you go.
American.
And it was super dumb, but man, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good dumb.
I like Three Amigos. That's one.
Yeah, that was also fun.
Makes me laugh every freaking time.
I've not seen that.
I am the Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everybody in the town
Rita has a question for you.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, okay, hold on. Rita has a question from Lawrence. What's your question, Rita?
Give us the question now.
Ask me your question, Bridgekeeper. I am not afraid.
What is your favorite color?
What's your quest?
Jack, I gotta say, your review of Jupiter Ascending is the most glowing review I ever saw when that movie came out.
Thank you. And
you're their #1 fan of all their fan they have.
There you go.
So
the board from Star Trek Steampunk? I don't think so.
Can you
Why
put a
not?
hat on them?
Cyberpunk, definitely.
yes.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. I would think yes, because they're more sci-fi, computer oriented.
Now
They're not run by Steam.
So the way to make them steampunk, I've actually thought about this. So everyone remembers watching the Sherlock Holmes with Iron Man in it, right?
Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying, but it's a specific Sherlock Holmes because there's a lot of them now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not Khan, but Iron Man. So I think it was the second one where the bomb was supposed to be detonated by remote. So like the whole movie's revolving around literally a cathode ray tube and a radio signal.
That's the first film, but yes.
That's the first film. Okay. So that would be easy to communicate with your automatons that are half dead people wandering around by steam packs or whatever. And now you just need to have it either be I don't know how you're going to make the whole like communal brain thing going on, but if you wanted to have like an elder god or something kind of that already has the ability to spread itself into multiple chunks and think as one entity, you would just have to put them in little tanks on all the board drones, and there you go. And you have the ability for them to etherically access the brain and all the memories of every individual drone. I've had a little bit of thought about this.
So the Borg are kind of like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, kind of in a very loose sort of way. I have a hard time calling them steampunk or cyberpunk because they're not entrenched in a sort of post-capitalist culture like cyberpunk would be. They're not like, there's no rebellion against a big corporate structure, which I think of as being kind of core to cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Steampunk is similarly, there's a punk aspect where you're rebelling against the cultural norms. Borg don't have cultural norms. They're the
sci-fi equivalent to zombies.
Essentially, yeah.
Organized zombies. Corporate zombies.
Compare them to like a
corporate
cancer.
buildings.
Because they assimilate, they acquire, and then they grow larger. Very similar to like a metastasized tumor. So.
Yes.
Akira!
Yep. There you go.
Hey, Jack, you're not alone. Mick liked Jupiter Ascending.
Mick is with me.
You know, I
always
could just
with
watch
me.
Mila Kunis for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's the reason why I went to go see the movie originally. You know?
See her outside of something where she's yelling at her boyfriend. Yeah.
Just imagine her with the volume off.
I mean, she didn't talk a whole lot actually. She was cleaning toilets.
That was a quote from one of the actual '70s show episodes, where like just imagine her with the volume off.
Like dad.
Oh my gosh, she is hot.
The dad from that '70s show. I think of him literally being the retired guy from RoboCop. He is the scientist from RoboCop. When he got pissed off with corporate and everybody and decided to turn the robot bad and then go and shoot everybody. It's like if he survived, he became Rhett Foreman and then went like home. And it's just like, you know what? Life's at home still sucks. Maybe I should shoot them all. And just never goes through with it because he loves everybody inherently. But there's the warning there. And it just makes the whole thing better. Like he could just do it at any moment in time, but no, he won't.
Okay, so that was did we go off topic because your homework was Frankenstein or the Frankenstein Chronicles on Netflix, right?
Well, I was actually going to also talk about Bruce Campbell on Briscoe County Jr. because if y'all haven't seen that, y'all need to.
Of course, I've seen that. I saw that live when it first came out.
Well, that's a good show.
Actually, I did. I was really short. I think
it started as a good show.
True.
I think
it's about on the same footing as any Bruce Campbell vehicle. I'll put it to you that way.
I like Bruce Campbell. He needs to be in more stuff.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So is it my turn?
I was going to watch the Frankenstein Chronicles. That's on my list. We should just watch it and then we'll discuss it in more length later, down the line in the future. Dax, homework?
I got homework. I got it. I had it last week. Didn't I? I don't know. Okay, so we've been in a pandemic, so you probably haven't had a chance to go to Fiesta, Texas.
No, we have not.
Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, up in North San Antonio. Well, they have a new ride.
Oh,
let me show you. Let's see.
You gonna show us like you on the ride?
No, not me.
Darn.
Just that one.
I was hoping you had like video footage of you holding your phone in front of you as you nearly lose your phone while screaming the entire ride.
Oh, there we go.
I'm just gonna start running that while I read the Daredevil Dive Flying Machine.
Ooh.
The world's tallest ride of its kind. Experience the thrills and sensation of weightlessness through aerial banks, loops, and dives, all while seated in a retro four-seater steampunk flying machine. Sharply turning right side upside down, riders break from formation and maneuver into acrobatic dogfights during the barnstorming journey as they soar nearly 5 stories above Crack Axle Canyon.
Wait, what? Say that again?
The whole thing?
No, the what canyon?
I think Crack Axle Canyon is
okay.
Is part
we didn't hear Crack Axle. We heard something else.
Crack asshole. What?
No crack asshole.
Where is your head, Jack? Come on now.
Oh, it's thoroughly in that canyon.
There you go.
Whoa, that looks like a blast.
Wow. The tallest ride of its kind. I don't know what that means. It's certainly not the tallest
for those of you listening later on and not watching us live, we are watching a carnival ride, not a carnival ride, a amusement park ride that's apparently in San Antonio at Six Flags over Texas, Fiesta, Texas, and it's like little airplane-looking things, and they are spinning and flipping and.
So it's like you took the hammer, those things that you get in on the bottom, and it like swings you up on a big arm, but then you stuck it on a carousel with a whole bunch of others, and a big circle.
Yeah, I mean, they're flipping around upside down while moving forward. Yeah, that is insane.
It does look very steampunk. I will give it that.
That they've got fake. What do I talk? Steam
stacks.
Oh, fire! Whoa!
Yep, lots of fire.
Smokestacks fire coming out, lights at the night, all sorts of cool things.
Oof. I want to go now. Luckily, that's not too far away.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
An article that came out as of July 1st, so just the beginning of this month. Six Flags Fiesta Texas is responding to a viral TikTok video showing guests stuck on one of the park's newest rides.
Uh-oh.
Daredevil Dive flying machine is shown locked in a video that's garnered more than 3 million views on the platform. The steampunk-themed ride sends riders through loops and dives 48 feet in the air. Some guests were left in an upside-down position when the ride stopped.
Oh, no.
The attempt to reach the TikTok user who posted the video was unsuccessful. A follow-up post, she explains that she was in line for another ride when she saw the ride stop. The San Antonio Fire Department says rescue teams were not called out to the park. Six Flags Fiesta Texas spokesman Jeff Filico says the ordeal lasted about as long as the TikTok. So about a minute.
Okay, so there was a flaw. They fixed it.
So if you think this ride was thrilling before, now you can be thrilled at the thought of being hung upside down for up to a minute.
Yeah, now we're looking at a night shot of it in action, and that looked even better. It was like the sun was coming down, and like the fire was shooting up. Yeah, that looked fun. I would like to go. I mean, I have not been to Six Flags in forever.
I really like the walking through where the line is going to be. It gives you stuff to look at.
Yeah.
And blinky lights and
everything a steampunk
sort of
person
stuff.
normally likes.
Yeah. So I thought that looked like a lot of fun.
That did look fun.
Where did he go?
It disappeared.
Oh, he hit the wrong button. Max hit the wrong button. He's off the screen.
Himself.
He'll jump back on. Here he is. I see him. There he is.
I think I pushed the wrong button. I haven't been to Six Flags in years and years. So there's a
Does
thing.
that mean we need to make a pilgrimage?
Again.
Maybe when it's not so freaking hot.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that
Well,
goes without
Yesterday
saying.
morning, I left a cup of coffee in my car, and in the afternoon when I came back from work, the coffee was hot again.
I mean, still hot.
Convenient.
Hotter than when I left.
Oh.
I'm saying.
Wow. That's nice. No, that's wrong. Oh man, Omar, did you say you had something for us, or did you already talk about it earlier?
Admittedly, that Sherlock Hound, to look it up,
That was it?
that is one. But there is, and I know that some people probably are thinking, like, wait a second. He mentioned steampunk and anime, but he's talking about that one. There is one. It is way more on the nose. So going from one legend to another, Sherlock Hound being spearheaded by Hayao Miyazaki, I would also refer to, and it's almost too on the nose. And it's a film called Steam Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Steam Boy by Katsuhiro Otomo, which, admittedly, the production is top quality. It is like Kazuhiro is mostly known for Akira, both the anime and the adaptation of like the manga, of course. But Steam Boy was a pet project that he had for well over a decade, and finally it was achieved in the early 2000s. And essentially, it is exactly what it sounds like. James Steam, the young man is named James Steam, and he's an eccentric. No one understands him. He just wants to invent things, but people don't understand him. They just want him to live in How Green Is My Valley Land, which for those of you who get that means like just it's all smokestacks and coal soot. That's where he lives.
Greenland.
And he just wants to invent, but no one wants him to, because all of his inventions just destroy things. But anyways, his dad and his grandfather collaborate on a new pressure engine that they call the Steam Ball. And for good or ill, it is incredibly powerful. And that's the movie. And I will just let whoever is curious enough to look up Steam Boy just investigate it for themselves and see if they like it. It is the most steampunk anime I have seen probably ever.
Yeah,
I agree.
with that
Yeah.
one.
I think we've all seen it. We actually, at one point, there was a group in
Colleen?
Colleen that they actually had a showing of it at a theater,
Oh,
and we went and joined them, and it was pretty fun. You know,
I feel like Steam Boy is sort of a rite of passage for
Yes.
anybody in the steampunk
It's
shtick.
It is, and it's amazing. I find it really interesting. A lot of new people who are getting into steampunk, or people who have, I don't know, there's like this weird gap. It's like everyone was getting into steampunk in the early 2000s, saw it because it was very important at the time. It was like one of the only little pieces we could hold on to and like really own outside of like Wild Wild West. But there's this kind of weird thing. Once it got popular, a bunch of people who haven't seen that movie have been told about it, but they've never actually taken the time to sit down and watch it. And I think
they should.
They should, because it's one idea is that movie's full of them, and it gives you the vastness and reality of what could be. I mean, I would like to see if that kind of technology could exist. I think we're going to need something stronger than fire to make steam that hot. But
oh yeah. That's why a lot of steampunk involves some kind of like magic rock or something to power things up.
well, I mean, nuclear energy is not hard to do, and it works. It's just,
It creates steam.
it's at
does.
that point in time,
Does.
yeah. Well,
It's just the waste management. That's really the
Yeah.
only thing that makes it
Exactly.
non-market. So
well, what's the theory magic of steampunk? That's the magic, whatever the whatever device that makes it work. It's always
alternative
powered
energy
by-
source.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the easy one because it's the one that wouldn't be
Yeah, the
if you wanted to
unobtainium.
skip petrol. It's the next step is nuclear power, and if they could have harnessed that before we decided to go fully over to oil, we may have just skipped oil almost as an energy source completely, and probably be in a lot worse wear in a lot of ways, I'm sure. But who knows? Just as I was watching a video about like nuclear issues on submarines, just like, yeah, I really don't think we should have. I'm glad didn't have the idea of let's put those in airships and fly them around places.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Well, wow, we're over an hour already. My hat time flies. So,
Yep.
well, I think we should probably start wrapping things up. Unless we have something else we need to talk about. I mean, we've all done our homework.
Omar, it has been great talking to you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really got something, a movie that we hadn't heard of before. I'm really excited to check that out. Thanks to you. I hope we can have you as a guest again in the future.
Yeah, sure. This was fun.
Yeah,
I'd
definitely.
love to do it.
Awesome. I'm glad to have got everybody invited to see each other this evening, because this is something I always like sitting around every time I'm talking to Omar. I'm like, man, just need to get you in front of a camera. This would be great because you have such great ideas. So thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Jack, for having Omar or calling on Omar to come join us
You're
today.
welcome.
Technical
It was a little bit
glitches fixed up.
I'm sorry, you guys talked over each other there.
Sorry.
My bad.
No worries, no worries. Okay, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Wait, I got a private chat. Who's telling me a private chat?
I sent the private
I
chat.
see
If you want
that.
to pop that up on the screen here real quick, we'll that goes to his YouTube channel.
Ah,
Found that.
okay, let me see if I can. It doesn't seem to
Awesome.
want to go.
Okay, don't worry about it. I'll post it in the chat of the thing. This is his actual
yeah, it
YouTube
doesn't-
channel. If you want to hear
I'm
his,
going to put this out there just like
There
right
it is.
quick.
There I can show it. There it is. Ta-da.
weird.
It's very humble. It's very austere. It's pretty bare bones right now, but I just go for like a casual sort of like conversational sort of tone. So just heads up.
Yes, because because we're very
You're sticklers.
professional here, not casual at all. We do it my way or no. I'm kidding.
Or you can just, if you go to YouTube and look up Movie Ninja with N1NJA.
The O is also a 0, as I have found out.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Because if you
might
type
be
in
a
Movie
mistake.
Ninja, it pops up a lot of things. But that's the direct link. If you need another link to it, you can't get to it, message me. I can send you a link. I'm also going to be linking him on a couple of my other YouTube channels. He'll be attached to Steam Chest here shortly, and Mission Reloaded Gaming. So if you can't find him, I can get you to find him. So
Right.
Thank you much. I wasn't expecting it. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So now we do our plugs. Yeah, we have Steam Chest here, which is a monthly subscription service for steampunk stuff. There's going to be teas and all kinds of little gadgets and stuff that you get once a month. At least it's still once a month for you guys, or
it's once a month. It's like anywhere like 5 to 6 weeks at the moment because stuff is shipping weird. I have really cool knives for the next box. So yeah, they're made of. That's not the word's plastic, but it's not right. They put stuff in them. So
they put stuff in them.
Flowers and bits and stuff. It's very.
It's a resin.
Resin. Yeah. That's the word.
Oh, it's really nice.
It's actually goblin core in its own way. I like it. So expect these out in the next box.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you, Thax, telling me about them. So.
What? Okay. I'm going once again going to plug. We do now have a Patreon. So if you wish to support us with a thank you very much for to help support us with our upkeep and such. We only have one tier right now. It's just $3 a month. Basically, thank you, buy us a beer kind of situation. In the future, I am currently working on a full audio cast, sound of everything drama, the steampunk drama podcast. I currently have the first scene of the first episode completely done. Completely edited and sound engineered and everything that's done. When I have more, I will be putting them on the Patreon for, slightly different tier, and you will get advanced sneak previews of this upcoming Steampunk podcast. So, look forward to that. That's going to be, it's going to be a little while because it's kind of slow going to edit all this stuff and get it going and fully edited with sound effects and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm the producer. I have my friends that are acting in it. I have a local writer in Austin who's writing it for us. It's really good. So yeah, there's that. Our Patreon. What else we have? Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, find us on Facebook. Texas Steampunk Connection. Simple. For longer form, if you have anything longer you want to send us, we have an email, texassteampunkconnection@gmail.com. Simple enough. Any complaints, criticisms, find us on Twitter somewhere. I don't know.
Tell me. I'll talk to you about it.
You can find him on Facebook as well.
Yes.
Does Steam Chest has its own Facebook as well?
Yes, it has its own Facebook, and I might as well drop this. Let's see here. While we're plugging things with.
Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Chestofsteam.com will get you to our website. And
there's our Patreon. There's our Patreon. There's the Chest of Steam.
Yep. Go check it. Go buy things. Lots of things. I send you cool stuff. From all parts of the world. Yeah, monthly. And we're about 6 weeks.
Yeah, and in the future, I believe when I have full episodes of the podcast, we'll probably sneak it into your Steam Chest.
Works for me.
He's there as well.
I got some awesome USB plugs just for it. So
perfect.
Yep.
So that's the plan. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. And I guess that's it. Anything else, Thax, Jack?
I'm good.
All right. Then until next time, mind your gauges. Logging out anytime.